Hey guys, it's Lane with Tim's Nation. Today I'm going to be playing against DJ and his Grey Knights. I brought my Votann again, but this time I'm going to be running the Greater Thurian League. I have never run this before, so I'm excited to try it out. Something new for me. Right from the get-go, I thought Ymir is the best option just because of the defensive ability of having that involved. But I know a lot of people love GTL, so I'm going to give it a try today. I don't have the Uthar model painted, but I do have my call. We're just going to use we're going to proxy my regular call for Uthar the Destined. The list I'm running is actually the same models as what I brought last time, if you watched last week's battle report, but I had to change a few things up just a little bit. So stick with me here. We'll go through the list. I'm going to read through all of Uthar's abilities. It's pretty impressive how many things he does. And then we'll talk about secondaries a little bit after that. All right. Okay, so this is Greater Thurian League Votann. Greater Thurian League, the benefits you get from this, the most important one, or the biggest one, is that anytime there's at least one judgment token on an enemy unit, I treat it as one additional. So I don't treat 0 as 1. 0 is still 0. But if someone has one judgment token, I treat that as 2. And if they have 2, I treat that as 3 judgment tokens. So it just gives me a much better ability to wound my targets. In addition to that, each unit can reroll 1 hit or 1 wound roll in each attack sequence. And then each model counts as 2 or counts as an additional model for the purposes of controlling objectives. This might come handy when I use lay claim near the end of the game. We'll see. So first off, my HQs. We've got Uthar the Destined. Uthar. Now, there are so many rules for Uthar, so you're going to have to forgive me as I go through these. He's basically a upgraded high call, so that means he functions as a captain. It gives out rerolls of 1s to all core units within 6 inches. Plus, he is basically a chapter master, so he gives 1 core full rerolls for the battle round. In addition to that, once per battle round, when I make a hit roll, wound roll, or damage roll, or saving throw, for this model or any friendly Greater Thurian League model within 6 inches of them, you can change the result of that roll to a 6. So for any model within 6 inches of him, I can change a roll to a 6. I could use that offensively. Obviously, the Magna Rail is great for that. I can roll a 6 to wound, and that will let the damage flow through the unit. That'll be great when I'm shooting into Grey Knight units. They're like Terminators or any of their strike squads, interceptors, any of those. I can also use it defensively. I could make an armor save a 6. Now, I can only do it once per battle round, so I need to keep track of when I use it. Because if I use it on my turn, if I go first and I use it offensively, I won't be able to use it on DJ's turn when he's attacking me. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. But that's a big deal with Uthar. We'll see if it matters much in this game. Next, Uthar, let me see here. If he destroys an enemy unit, and I can move a judgment token from that unit to another unit that he can see. Oh, and he also has a rampart crest, or rampart shield. He gives all infantry and biker units within 6 inches of him a 5-up invuln. He also defensively, anytime you attack him, it reduces the damage characteristic of that attack to 1. Changes that damage characteristic to 1. And then he's got a decent, he's got a Vulcanite Disintegrator, so might kick out a few mortal wounds with his gun. And a, let's see here, just a blade, 2 damage power weapon, basically. Now on to the next HQ, we've got the Forge Master. This guy's the upgraded Iron Master. And as I've been playing with him, he can 0 out 1 failed armor save for a vehicle each battle round. He also gives 1 vehicle or core unit, plus 1 to hit in the shooting phase. He gives that out during the command phase. He heals vehicles for flat 4, and he reduces the cost of a war gear strat by 1 CP once per battle round. Next, we've got, well, we'll do our fast attacks. We've got 3 Pioneer jet bike squads. 2 of them are 6-man, and 1 of them is a 3-man. These have the rotary cannon, so for every 3 models, there's a rotary cannon. They have scanners, so they ignore light cover, searchlights, so they ignore dense cover. And the 2 big 6-man squads have the comms device, which means anytime they're within 24 inches of Uthar, they're going to be re-rolling 1s to hit. These units they have a 12-inch pregame move. They have a 12-inch regular move. They're obsec and they fly, so they're great for jumping on objectives. Especially useful for my secondary late claim, where late in the game I'll be trying to get on objectives and score those for the end of the game. Now, also in fast attacks, we have two Sagittars. These are great little vehicles. 9 wounds, toughness 7, 3-up armor, but they also get a lot of shots. They each hold 5 models. The transport capacity is 5 infantry, and each one gets 6 shots from a matter autocannon, strength 7, AP2, 2 damage, and then 6 shots from the bolt cannon, strength 6, AP2, 2 damage. So just a lot of AP2, 2 damage shots that are really great for picking up Marine bodies. In the elite slots, we've got 2 5-man Berserk squads. Because I took Uthar, and Uthar's a few extra points, I had to take the grenade launchers out of here. So we just have 5 basic Berserks with the heavy plasma axes in each squad. These guys are great. They fight on death for free. They reroll their charges for free. They don't have much armor. They've only got 6-up armor, but they do have a 5-up feel no pain, 4-up feel no pain if it's 1 damage. And they just put out a ton of attacks. On their sweep profile, each guy puts out 6 attacks, strength 5, AP 3, 1 damage apiece. I usually go with the sweeps just because it's fun to roll all those dice. Next in our heavy support slot, we've got one of the Hecatons. This one has the Magna Rail on it and bolt cannons all around the outside. This means the Magna Rail is get that one big shot, 1 shot at strength 14, AP 4, 6 plus 2d3 damage. Now remember, the Magna Rail ignores invulns, and if you roll a 6 to wound with it, the damage flows through the unit. It essentially turns that damage into mortal wounds once it's made it through the armor. That means with Uthar, if I roll that wound roll and I want to make it a 6, I can do that, which can be extremely powerful. And then finally, we've got 2 of the 3-man Brokir Thunderkin squads. These 3-man squads have grav cannons on both squads. That means their output is D6 shots for each guy, but they're strength 5, AP 3, 2 damage. If your armor is a 3-up or better, it becomes 3 damage. Obviously, against Marines, everything's going to be at least a 3-up or better, so they will always be 3 damage. And then defensively, they each have 3 wounds. They're T5, so they are fairly hardy. Sometimes they can be difficult to kill, and they have 3-up armor as well. So that is the list. All right, so for my secondaries, I'll be taking Aboard the Witch. This is pretty an obvious choice with the fact that I'm facing Grey Knights. Second, I'm going to be taking Ancestors Are Watching. DJ changes the list a little bit, so it's not all infantry, so I don't have as many wounds for no prisoners as I normally have in the past couple weeks. So I will be taking Ancestors Are Watching. This is a Votann specific secondary. And each time I kill something, in each phase in which I kill something with a judgment token, I get 2 points. If it has 3 judgment tokens, I get 3 points. It's by phase. So shooting phase, fight phase, even Overwatch, even if I auspex scan in my opponent's movement phase, all those phases count. However, at the end of the game, I lose a point for each unit that's on the table that has a judgment, at least 1 judgment token on it. So it's pretty good to score, but I can lose a few points at the end. And then finally, I'm going to take Lay Claim. This is the Votann secondary where I give my opponent 3 objectives. He puts them out on the table after we've deployed, and I just have to control them at the end of the game. So I get 5 points for each objective that I control end game. And normal objective controlling rules apply to that. So those are the secondaries. Going into DJ's Grey Knights here in just a minute. So stick with us and see how that game goes.